Welcome aboard the System76 transmission log. Our broadcast is about to begin. This is the latest on System76 computers, manufacturing, and Pop OS. Now for your in-orbit crew.
Emma, welcome to the transition log.
You just said transition, it's transmission.
Transmission log, take two. Welcome to the transmission log. I'm Alex.
I'm Emma.
That would be awkward if your name wasn't Emma, because I said it was. But thankfully, it is. So we had a July 4th parade at the factory recently.
We did, on the 2nd, actually, because we wanted to post the video on the 4th, and it was glorious. And because we're not in the factory on the 4th anyway, so it'd be pretty mean to make everyone come in on their day off just to do a parade. But, I mean, I would, because it's funny. But anyway, everyone was really great, including Alex, because Alex dressed up as a wizard. And I don't know if you've seen any of our videos with the wizard, but he's pretty funny and he has a very interesting personality. And Alex stayed in character the whole time. So it was very fun and cool. And I bet you were really hot because everyone in costume looked really hot yesterday.
That was actually pretty cool. I was working in the front office where all the AC is.
Oh.
So, once I put the robe on and stepped out there, I was just kind of warming up after that.
Oh.
But we had a real cast of characters in the parade there.
Oh my gosh. Who was your favorite?
I haven't really seen much Cheetah, so it was interesting to see the costume on in person. But also Kenobi in the rainbow tutu.
My favorite was Gideon with the fairy wings. He was a
cool.
bystander, but I don't know. I feel like he made the parade because he was so enthusiastic about everything and everyone walking by. It was so adorable. Gideon's a dog, by the way.
He's such a cute dog. He's like a big, bullet bill of a wiener-looking dog.
What do they call Corgi. He's a corgi.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
A short one, mixed with something with short legs.
Okay.
He's very cute.
Because he looks longer than a corgi usually is.
Yeah. He's a mix of some sort, but he's adorable of all sorts, and you can watch him in the video on our YouTube or our social networks, one or the other.
Wherever you decide to post it.
Yes, it'll be posted on July 4th, so.
Check out our MySpace on July 4th.
myspace.com/nothing, because it doesn't exist.
All right. Well, you know what does exist now? The new Mircat.
Yes, it does. Everyone's favorite little... small, was it tiny but fierce is the phrase we always say.
Small but mighty.
Oh, small but mighty. There we go. But tiny but fierce, I think we've used a couple times.
Probably.
Yeah, still relevant.
It's crazy to me how you can fit a full, everyday office computer into that small cube.
Yeah, and then just put it on the back of your monitor like there's nothing there. It's very fun.
Also, side note for the technical people, yes, I recognize that it's a rectangular prism and not quite a cube. But moving on from that, it's up to 16 cores now, CPU cores. So it's got even faster and no larger.
So more mighty, more fierce, same size.
Can you say that, but a little more fierce?
No.
On to the Adder workstation laptop. That is a 15 or 17-inch model, now goes up to the NVIDIA RTX 5070 GPU. So it's really shaping up to be quite the gaming system.
And we did a fun infomercial for it, which was Alex's bright idea. And it was based on a chocolate fondue pot commercial. But we turned it into a laptop infomercial, and it turned out very funny. So hope you guys see that one on YouTube, and it's on the Adder laptop webpage.
We've been wanting to do an infomercial maybe since I started. So it's nice to finally have one out there. And yeah, I based it off one I saw when I was 7.
It was the worst quality.
It amazed me how quickly I was able to find it, too.
Yeah.
I think...
other minds remembered that commercial.
Yeah, I think cheesy commercials really do make the most memorable.
Oh. I really liked my favorite shot, just even making the video, was when everyone's hands were on the keyboard and like we had the hand flop on the keyboard and wasn't actually typing. It was so ridiculous. And everyone, for as short of a scene as that was and how funny it made the video and how much we laughed doing it, I'm never going to forget it. So that infomercial was a lot of memories for me that I'll just hold really dear in my heart forever. But yeah, Adder's a very powerful, very powerful computer as well.
I didn't really have a transition for that.
From the technical side.
You're holding it in your heart.
Yes. Powerful Intel CPU, very strong NVIDIA GPU. Moving on to the next product.
No.
No? Okay.
No. Instead, it is a conference that we've held dear to our heart, the Open Source Summit. You were there. I was across the country.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
Yes, we had a great time with the Open Source Summit this year because we had Thelio Astra hanging out at the ARM booth with our friend Michael Hall, showing off the Ampere CPU with 128 cores. And also we had Carl and Jeremy doing a presentation on Cosmic Desktop. And that was a packed room full of lots of people. Everyone flooded the back of the room for USBs and handouts for our after party later. And everyone was basically just really excited to try Cosmic. A lot of people hadn't heard of it. The ones that did just wanted to talk a lot afterwards. And the ones that haven't tried it were just very excited to get a USB.
What was the venue for the conference?
The Colorado Convention Center.
Oh, nice.
And so since Colorado Convention Center is in the heart of downtown, we got a venue for an after party just a couple blocks away. I want to say at least 50 people came and we talked about open source. Carl showed off Cosmic on a laptop. We gave away a bunch of prizes, couple keyboards, and we also had a Thelio Astra demo showing off the Tier 4 safety, autonomous vehicle safety demo. So that was pretty neat. A lot of people were really interested to just talk more in depth with Ampere about that. So we had Ken from Ampere manning that station. And then, of course, lots of great food and lots of drinks and community. And it was just awesome to see a lot of old friends there, too.
Awesome. Well, I wasn't there. I was across the country, but it sounds like it was a fun time. For those who don't know, Thelio Astra is our Ampere-powered workstation. So it's running the ARM64 architecture. And there's now a 32-core CPU starting option. Lowers the price a bit, and also, if you don't really need the CPU power so much as you need the GPU power, there's a better price out there for you.
Yep, it is now starting at $26.99 with the 32-core option.
I'm amazed you couldn't remember that. I cannot remember prices.
I remember everything about Astra. Astra runs my life. Okay, well, is that all the news that we have this week?
No, we also have a new shirt.
Oh, right. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I wasn't even going to talk about that. It is the best shirt because it says Liberate the Computer, and Andrina, our wonderful designer, made a cool eagle-type PCB trace sketch thing of an awesome logo. So we're all going to be sporting that on our shirts as soon as ours arrive. And you'll be sporting yours if you buy a computer because you get one free with every computer purchase right now.
You also made a secret pink version.
I did. I'm actually wearing the secret pink version I made by hand. Look, I'm turning around. It's on the back of this shirt, but the shirt that we're selling, it's going to be on the front. But I couldn't wait for ours to arrive, so I ordered iron-ons of the logo. And then I made like flags and shirts and laptop cases and, just crafted it up for a minute.
Awesome. You are very excited about this design.
I'm so excited about it.
As am I. It's sort of our way of getting people into the open source mission. Maybe you're wearing it to the cafe. Someone might have a question about your shirt. You could talk to them more about open source and how that philosophy helps put power back into the hands of the people. There's a lot of unfavorable practices in tech right now, and it's easy to get discouraged about that. So this was something for us to say, not all hope is lost. There are ways around it to go and create the future you want to live in, kind of a thing.
And honestly, like the Liberate the computer message is just important in general to stir up conversations about, software, open source software, and open hardware, just an open future in general. And I think just getting people to talk about that makes people think a lot more. And maybe just the way the design is just kind of catches your eye. It's like mainstream. I just feel like any everyday users will be like, what do you mean liberate the computer? Why do we have to liberate the computer? If someone wearing that shirt could just be ready for that conversation, we could get a lot of people switched to Linux, I think.
Absolutely. So that brings us to our interview, Emma.
We have a very exciting interview of an incredible community member helping out teens.
It is Zach, the founder and executive director from the Hack Club. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
We have Zach Latta from the Hack Club here today on Transmission Log. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to meet you, Emma, and great to meet Alex. I'm so happy to join.
Thanks. Can you tell us a little bit about Hack Club, what it is and what you do there?
Yeah, so I'm Zach. I'm the founder of Hack Club. I started it when I was 16, which was 11 years ago. And Hack Club is the most amazing place to make projects with other teenagers. If you're a teenager, it's a place where you can get funding for your projects if your age is 13 to 18. And it's probably at this point the largest community of teenagers building awesome projects together. I started the organization as a teenager myself. I grew up and went to public schools in Los Angeles. Both my parents were social workers. My mom worked in foster care and my dad in homelessness. And at the schools I went to, like most schools in America, they didn't teach and still don't teach any computing classes. So I was always alone in my interest with computers. I really wanted to meet other teenagers. When I was 15, I dropped out of high school. I moved out of my parents' home to San Francisco when I was 16 to become a programmer. I was living in a house with like 12 other people who were all trying to make it in Silicon Valley. I helped make 2 apps that got very popular on the App Store. One became the most popular game and one became the most popular app at the time. And I used a little bit of money I had saved up from that to start Hack Club, to try and create a free and open source community for teenagers who want to build awesome projects together.
That's awesome. What kind of sparked your love for programming at that age?
I just loved computers. As a kid, I was always like taking stuff apart. I really wanted to know how things worked. I got in trouble as a kid for taking the CD drive out of the family computer. And I think a lot of it was just, I was part of the first generation that really didn't know a world without the internet. And as soon as I think I either like saw a video online or saw some sort of post online where it was like, oh, like if you learn this thing called HTML, that is how you build websites. And I was just like totally enamored with the idea that like some random kid somewhere could make things that someone in a different location could experience. And I didn't like need money or have to ask for permission. So it really just started with that. When I was a kid, I played Club Penguin a lot. My first website I built was a website about Club Penguin with my friends. And it just kind of snowballed as an interest, but it was always very isolated and lonely. I didn't really know anyone else that shared my interest. I didn't really have friends whose parents who were engineers. And as a teenager, I got really lonely, where it's just like, oh my God, it feels like the one thing I want to do with all my time is also the one thing that I can't do in the place where I have to spend all my time. And that really is kind of what inspired the idea of Hack Club. It's like, there should be a place that's like really by and for teenagers where you can connect with other teens with your interests, get support for your projects, get legitimacy, but like more importantly, just like a sense of community and peer support.
It's kind of like you created that little Silicon Valley house, but online for millions of kids. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, I feel really lucky to be a part of it today. And it's so special. You know, we're so grateful to System76 for donating so many devices to teenagers. It's so special to like see what teenagers are doing every day. Like it really feels like people are having these incredible life-changing adventures where they're like traveling from different cities to meet up in person at a hackathon, or they're like building a project together and doing late night Slack huddles as they work on their open source code. It's like, wow, like, you know, I would have killed to be a part of this when I was 15.
That's cool.
Do you see a lot of participants who are, you know, growing up through the years and coming back to become volunteers for the organization?
Yeah. So the way Hack Club works is almost all of our programs are actually directly led by teenagers themselves or by very recent alumni of Hack Club. So more than 50% of our team are actually gap years, where each year we've been making full-time, like volunteering or full-time work offers to teenagers to join our team, work for a year to run Hack Club programs. And it's like a way for them to give back. And it's really sweet. Like there's this incredible community of alumni that's been developing. I just had lunch with a 21-year-old Hack Clubber who's an alumni of our programs, is a student at Berkeley now. He currently runs Berkeley's hackathon, which has like 2,000 people at it. It's like this huge thing that happens. And he drove up from New York City from his internship to come here and visit Hack Clubbers for the weekend. So like there's a lot of peer support. And now like there's even a lot of Hack Clubbers who live together, who like live in group houses after college in New York City or in San Francisco. Something I've heard is like we give away hundreds of thousands of Hack Club stickers each year. Like we mail them to you in sticker envelopes. And I've heard stories from students who like during the first year, like first week of freshman year at college, they like see other teenagers who have Hack Club stickers on their laptops and like go ahead and talk to them. So, I mean, it's still early days, but yeah, I mean, I think that's really the hope of what we're trying to build out.
That's great. It's kind of like a secret club. You could just find someone in the wild who you'd pretty much immediately bond with.
Yeah, totally. That's definitely the hope.
And you were talking about different competitions or programs, and you have this competition coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about how and when that's going to be started, the High Seas competition?
Yeah, absolutely. So this summer, from June 16th to August 31st, if you are age 18 or under, so if you're 18, you're eligible, you can code this summer in Hack Club to earn prizes. We have a $500,000 prize pool. Every hour you code on a personal project. So this is you can make, dot files for your Linux computer. You can build a command line app from scratch. You can build an app for the web, like any personal project you want, including hardware stuff. Every hour you code, you earn shells, and then you can spend those shells on prizes. And System76 is even donating a bunch of devices and keyboards that you'll be able to redeem your shells for. It launched 2 weeks ago. There are 22,000 students who've already signed up to participate.
Wow.
And they're from 109 countries. If you're listening to this, like you should get involved. It's open until August 31st. And we think it's probably the largest coding event of all time for teenagers.
Emma, do you have details on what we're offering for that?
We're going to offer some launch keyboards and a Meerkat, I believe. And then we'll be passing out some stickers for you guys as well to our sticker representatives across the world.
Yeah, we're so grateful for System76's involvement.
Yeah.
Getting started with Linux was a big part of my journey. Like, I think that when I really was able to kind of make that transition from being like a consumer of computers to being a creator with computers was when I installed Ubuntu on the family desktop computer in 7th grade. Because suddenly, like with Linux, it really treats you like someone who knows what they're doing. And as a result, you have to really figure out how your computer works. And I remember, like, I saw System76 and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you can buy a device that's meant for Linux. Like, that's amazing. And I never bought a System76 machine, but it was so inspiring and legitimizing to see, like, wow, there are companies that are taking this really seriously. So it's very meaningful to me, but also to the whole community for you guys to be involved.
Thank you. Well, we're excited to see how big you make it. And it seems huge already. So we're very excited to be a part of it.
Well, thank you. And some of the project, please go for it, Alex.
I was just going to add, it's kind of how the company got started. Is there was sort of a lack of dedicated Linux hardware vendors, and our founder really wanted to make that happen for people.
It's so funny. Like it was so serendipitous the way that we met System76. I was at the Ubuntu Summit in the Netherlands in November, and in 2024. And I was having lunch with one of my team members who came with me, and we were like tired, a little bit jet lagged. And we heard these two guys talking about Linux next to us and talking about the complexities of manufacturing computers. And we went over and said hi to them, and it was Carl. And we had this like incredible lunchtime conversation. And your mission like so hugely resonates with, I think, both me, but the whole Hack Club community.
Mm-hmm. What are some like memorable projects you've seen from some of the students?
I mean, already like the projects are just incredible from summer making. from High Seas, which was our winter challenge we ran that System76 was involved in. It ran from October 30th, 2024 to I think February 31st, 2025. One student got Doom running inside of a PDF. It's called, you can actually go to it right now if you're listening to this, doompdf.dev. And he shared this, he built it for Hack Club High Seas, and it went mega viral. Like, it's kind of amazing. Like, he embedded the entire video game using the built-in JavaScript runtime PDFs to get the game running inside of the PDF. Went mega viral, like number one on Hacker News, all over Reddit, over 20 million views on YouTube. And then Alan, who built it, was like, all right, like, how do you follow up with Doom PDF? I'm going to get Linux running in a PDF. And got the entire Linux operating system booting inside of a PDF using the embedded JavaScript runtime using WebAssembly. And then that project, of course, went mega viral too. That was one from last winter.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got to check it out. Like, it works in any Chromium browser. Like, I can send you the PDF as an email attachment, and then, like, you'll open it and it'll start working. Like, it's amazing.
Wow.
Can you send me that after this?
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome.
I just love that you can send me a video game in an email. So I want to say that you did that.
Totally. Another cool project that the students working on is called the Ice Pie. So it's called the Ice Pie Zero. I'll link it in the chat and send you the link over email too. So this is Xiao, who is from France, and I think is like 16 or 17, might be 17 now. He's gotten into hardware over the past year. Hack Club does a ton of programs to help teenagers learn electronics and like actually like not just like plug stuff into Arduinos, but like actually design their own circuit boards. And we'll even pay for the manufacturing for your circuit board if you design a board. And there's a whole community of teenagers who will like give you feedback in your design and like help you through the process and tons of tutorials. So he was getting into FPGAs and was like, oh man, like there's no Raspberry Pi style thing for an FPGA. So Xiao thought, why not make my own? And made this board. It's like this big. It's the size of Raspberry Pi Zero, but it's an FPGA. And he, did the full circuit design himself, actually got it manufactured, got it working, open sourced it on GitHub. It front paged r/FPGA on Reddit. It is now the 30th most starred circuit board on all of github.com. And it's like, what an incredible thing for a teenager to do. But even better than that, like when you join the Hack Club community and you look at our Slack where, there are tens of thousands of students who exchange millions of messages every year, helping each other in their projects. Xiao is like all over the electronics channel and like constantly helping people, being like, oh, like this is how you do this thing with KiCad, or like, if you try this little thing, and giving tons of people like a little bit of motivation. It's really inspiring because like, I think that when you're trying to learn it, like learning electronics or learning coding, it's really hard and it's really discouraging. And just the nature of the activity is like 9 times out of 10, your code's not going to work. And most boards you order just aren't going to work when they arrive. And what that means is like, I think the best teacher, like the best mentor for you to have, no matter what you're learning, but especially with coding and electronics, is someone who's like 3 months ahead of you because they remember what it was like in your shoes. Like they have deep empathy for the position you're in and can really offer like not just tactical advice of like, oh, you should read this blog post or like read this book or like try this tip with this tool, but they can offer like really thoughtful emotional advice too, because so much of getting into technical stuff is about confidence. Anyone can do it. It's just a matter of time, but it's so discouraging, especially early on when you face failure after failure after failure. And one of the things I love about Hack Club is it's just a place where teenagers from all over the world are like constantly helping each other on their projects.
It's a very great sense of community. So that's a great thing about Linux and open source in general, and the way that you're fostering that among the teens is very admirable. So thank you for what you're doing. We really, really appreciate what you're doing.
Well, thank you guys.
I did want to ask, I was curious earlier, you mentioned when you were in the 12-person house, you said you made a couple apps that got popular.
Yeah.
Can you describe what those were?
Yeah. So the first game that I helped contribute to, it was called Football Heroes. I think I probably did more damage to the code base than I did to benefit it. I was like a junior programmer and the game was written in this hybrid mutant version of Objective-C called Objective-C++. So you can use both C++ libraries and Objective-C libraries in it. But it was called Football Heroes. It was like an arcade style game for your phone. If you've ever played Tech Mobile, it was like Tech Mobile for the iPhone. And it was just like, there were three of us plus an artist. We were in like a spare bedroom of one of the founders' apartments. It would get so incredibly hot in the summer that if we all plugged our computers in at the same time, the AC would stop working. So we were like taking turns charging our laptops and like taking turns using external monitors and stuff like that. But that was the first game that I helped contribute to, and that became the number one game on the App Store. We had over 1 million downloads and over 1 million active users at its peak, which was just like, such an incredible, introduction to this world. And I'm so grateful to Nathan, who was my boss and is like probably the best programmer I've ever met, and like was constantly like helping mentor me through like, oh, like your code sucks in all these different ways, or, this is how you're supposed to do this thing. And it was very humbling, writing code that didn't get used. Like I spent like a month trying to write a new main menu screen and like layout engine. And then he looked at it and was like, this is not good enough, which he was right about, and threw it all out. And, as an engineer, you have to build those skills somehow. And then the second one was an app called Yo. So the idea was to build the dumbest app of all time in 2014. And the idea was, what if we build an app so dumb that people download it and talk about it? So the concept for Yo was, what if we built like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, but the only word you can send to each other is the word Yo? And I was hired as a contract programmer contributing to it, and we launched it, and it like went mega viral. Like, we had over 5 million active users at the peak. It was number one on the App Store. It felt like it was what every single person was talking about that summer in San Francisco. And I'm so grateful to Orr, who's the founder, who really like took a chance on me. And also think I probably did a lot of harm to that code base too, but like was such an incredible introduction to Silicon Valley.
It's like a more fun version of Facebook poking.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't know if either of you have ever seen the TV shows HBO Silicon Valley, but I was living in the house with all those roommates as it was coming out. And it was like, we had the most surreal experience when season 2 came out, because the first episode of season 2 parodied an intern event that happened at the SF Giants Stadium, which was an event ran by one of my roommates. And we were like, oh my God, this is like too close to reality. And then the second episode in that season parodied Yo. Like this one in the subplot, one of the characters makes this app called Bro that goes mega viral. And it was based on our app. And they didn't talk to us ahead of time or tell us it was happening, but it was kind of surreal, where it's like we were making a parody of Silicon Valley and then a parody was being made of us.
I think in our current market or current economy, it might be kind of daunting to look at, all the computer science students out there and be somewhat intimidated by it. What would you say to teens who are looking to make a future from coding?
I think all of the talk about there being too much computer science competition or talent out there, like if you go on Reddit, there's all these posts being like, I can't find a job, or like it's impossible to find a tech job. I think it's totally fake. Like I think it's totally fake. I interview candidates. I am currently actively trying to hire people. I cannot hire programmers. There is like, when I post a job, I get like 50 applications. Out of those 50 people, maybe one of them has ever built a project before. Like, if your vision for learning computer science is, I'm going to grind leak code, like, I'm sorry, there's going to be someone who's going to work so much harder than you, who's going to just destroy you in the interviews. But if you're like, okay, I'm going to spend my free time building fun projects that bring me joy, you are going to become so unbelievably differentiated as a candidate that there are just going to be unlimited job opportunities for you. That's true today. It was true 5 years ago, and it's going to be true in 5 years from now. Every single person who runs a company cannot hire enough qualified engineering talent. There's a lot of people who have CS degrees, but they don't know how to code. CS degree does not equal knowing how to code. So I'd say, like, if you are a teenager and you are interested in technology, or you're like, what if I pursue this? You should really try building a project. Because if you build a personal website for yourself, or build a little tool that betters your life in some little way, or if you have a System76 machine and you like rice it out and make your desktop environment look really cool and install Hyperland and like get in that world, like you are going to be building a skill set that not only would make you like an incredible employee at a lot of companies, but is more important than that, going to give you agency to use technology in the future. whether that's starting your own company or doing something else, or like, I think some of the most interesting things happening in technology right now aren't building apps. It's like applying knowing how to use Linux, knowing how to use AI, knowing like how to solve problems with computers to other fields entirely. So, I think there's just so much opportunity right now. And I think when you hear some of the pushback, I think the reality is just most people just aren't coding. Like they're taking CS classes, they're passing tests. But if you look at their GitHub, it's like empty. At best, there's a couple of school projects. And what you want is you want to hire high agency people. You want to work with high agency people. And there are very few of those in the world today. And all you need to do to become that person is just spend some time coding. Like it's just an hours thing. It's not a smarts thing. It's not something we have to be born into it. It's just how many hours of good practice making things have you spent?
I think that's great advice there. There's something to be said about doing something fun for yourself. The interviewer is bound to find that fun themselves, and then you're right at the top of their candidate list.
And along those same lines, if you could tell teenagers one thing to get them hyped about joining the High Seas program that haven't joined it before, what would you say to get them to join?
If you join the Hack Club Summer Making, which you can join at summer.hackclub.com, and it runs until August 31st, if you code for 10 hours, we will send you a Raspberry Pi completely for free anywhere in the world. If you code for 100 hours, we will send you a 3D printer, a Bamboo A1 Mini, completely for free anywhere in the world. And if you code for a butt ton of hours, you can even earn laptops, iPads, and other like very expensive, very high quality machines, System76 keyboards that not only will help you make more stuff, but will be a living recognition of the ways in which you grew as a maker this summer. You don't need to be experienced. We reward effort. So it's number of hours of coding you spent, not like, did you build the best project in the world? Because we believe that spending time is how you get better. And probably what you get most out of it is meeting a bunch of other teenagers who share your interests and are kind of at your level and are from all over the world. You'll probably make a bunch of very close friends. So you should consider joining if you're a teenager.
Awesome. I think you accomplished that mission right there. Well, we appreciate you joining the show to tell us about Hack Club and your journey and the High Seas program. And we're just happy to be part of the mission with you.
Yeah, thank you both so much. And honestly, I really appreciate your time and the opportunity to join. And I'm really excited for you to meet some Hack Clubbers too.
That's all we have for you today, guys.
Thank you for joining us on the System76 transmission log. I hope you had a wonderful time.
3, 2, 1, 0.
This has been the System76 transmission log. For more inspiration, check out the website and follow us on social media. On your descent back to Earth, please keep your hands and feet inside the transport beam at all times. Captain sign off in transmission.